Kevin Samuels passed away earlier this week at the age of 53. He was a masterful commentator on some of the hardest issues that we have right now to deal with as a society. As a member of the Black community, he did an excellent job of calling out various aspects of the community itself that needed to be called out in a very unique position and from a very unique perspective that only he could do. Far better than other people. Over the 1.5 years that I followed Kevin Samuels, there were 2 points that I completely agreed with him on, and I thought his articulation of were superb. The first one was he correctly, in my opinion, identified what he called the original sin of the Black community, something that Tom Sowell echoed also in his book, Black Rednecks and White Liberals. Josh, in the 1960s, LBJ pushed through the Great Society program. This, in turn, opened the door to allow the Black woman, as Samuels noted, to marry the state over marrying the Black man. That is, the woman could go to the state to find resources versus actually having to go in and stay in into relationship with a man. This, in turn, created a cascade of events that led to the current situation we have right now, of which Samuels was keen to comment on. Mainly the fact that there is a lack of positive masculine role model in the African American community as it's currently understood. And I would argue that even though I'm not part of the community, the lack of positive masculine figures is not just unique to the Black community. It might be the worst there, but it goes far beyond that. The second point that Samuels argued builds off the first point, and that is the insistence, the continued insistence that the Black community itself be the ones to originate and be the ones to take back control of the Black image, particularly the image of the Black man. Again, Samuels was much more eloquent than I could ever put this, but from watching his live streams, the way I believe he viewed the problem, and I'm not trying to speak for him, as long as the image that was, for lack of a better way of saying it, and forgive the accounting speak, the generally accepted image that was used by the Black community itself, as long as that was generated by members outside the Black community, and Samuels, I think, accurately would call out, even if he was somewhat disguised of calling these people out. Samuels, I think, accurately called out that the popular persona of the Black community was generated by people not necessarily within the Black community, and this in turn opened the door to a tremendous amount of mischief. In any event, separate video for that topic, but the point is that Samuels, I think, was very correct in identifying the need and the importance of building the concept of positive masculinity and making sure that that positive masculinity for the Black community was built within the Black community. And for daring to speak the truth, Josh, for daring to not confirm people's biases, the man was just blasted apart. And probably I have never seen such vitriol, particularly from Black women, put towards Kevin Samuels, not only in life, but now in death. It is just repugnant when you go on. And of course, social media is social media. I'm not saying it shouldn't be repugnant, but, no surprise there. But still. And just to be clear, you can also go through and see glowing commentaries from relationships that he was able to put together, marriages that formed from him, people who were who have become incredibly happy because someone was willing to sit down and tell them the cold, hard truth. Someone was willing to look them in the eye and say, listen, you're not going to like what I have to say, but you need to hear what I have to say. And sure, if you want someone to flatter you, if you want someone to lie to you, if you want someone to blow a bunch of smoke up your ass, by all means, go somewhere else, because I'm not going to do that. And again, don't take my word for it. Get yourself over to his YouTube channel, and there are countless videos out there where he would call out everyone. Again, not just Black women, Black men, all men, all women, etc. But in any event, Josh, I'm sorry for the long rant here, but this is there was a tremendous asset and a desperately needed asset that was lost not only to the Black community, but to, I think, America and the world as a whole, particularly for someone who would champion or males to take responsibility for themselves, and women too, of course, but basically encouraging the individual to take responsibility for themselves, not blame someone else, and make the best of what they can do. And again, Josh,
Kevin Samuels was undoubtedly a great man. It takes a great man to stand up and against all odds, because he was calling out his own people, and he was doing this at a very brute and blunt way that it takes a hard person to do. It is tough to get massive amounts of hate every day and continue to preach what you are so strongly believe. So I respect him dearly for that, as I did not follow his channel too often. I understand the impact that he has had on many people, and I support that. We could go into a lot of the economic and social policies that he had, but that's not the point of the video. He just died, and that is something to be mournful over instead of preaching what he has done so elegantly throughout the years. So please just go and follow him, and make sure you watch his videos before really judging anything. And the man has died. So
Yeah.
Justin, any last words?
No, like I said, we're gonna miss the Godfather, and like I said, if we've lost one in this life, well, at least we have gained one for the next. So, anyways, like I said, he was someone who dared to speak the truth, and he bore the price of speaking the truth with grace and elegance. And I suspect a lot of the good that he did will not only lives on after him, but will continue to live on long after he is gone.
Thank you guys, and make sure you check out Kevin Samuels, and we'll see you on the next one.